Hey everyone, welcome to Gina Marie Yoga. Today's class is the first class in the beginning series for the month of January. This is a great class if you are just starting yoga, if you just want to learn a little bit more. This is also great for the whole family. So I encourage you to get as many people as you can involved. It would definitely be a fun process. No props are required. However, if you do have blocks or maybe some bigger pillows, couch cushions, those could come in handy throughout the practice. The practice is all on the ground today. The whole series, we're going to start from the ground and then work our way up. So we won't be doing anything that involves any standing poses. Everything will be on the ground. So please get something comfy and I will meet you on your mat. Okay, to start, we're going to come seated on the mat. Find a comfortable cross-legged position. Spine is nice and tall. We don't want to be sitting back on our tailbone, so we don't want to look like this. You want to make sure that you're pulling the chest forward. There's a nice long line from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And we're focusing on sitting on those sits bones. So if you rock back and forth, you might be able to feel those little bony points on your seat. And that's kind of where we want to be positioned. We don't want to be positioned with all our weight on our tailbone. We want to be on the sits bones, nice and long and tall. Hands come palms facing down on our knees. And then we're going to work through some cat-cow in a seated position. So on an inhale, we're going to bring the chest forward. Exhale, we're going to round the back. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Exhale, round the back. One more time. Inhale, pull the chest forward. And exhale, round the back. Inhale, come back up to a neutral position. And on your next inhale, take the hands and bring them up overhead. Exhale, begin to twist at the navel to the right, bringing that right arm behind you, left hand in front. Nice long spine and just hold here. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. On your next exhale, see if you can rotate just a tiny bit further. And inhale, arms come up. Exhale, begin to twist at the navel to the left. Left arm comes behind, right arm on the knee. And just hold here. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. On your next exhale, see if you can rotate just a little bit further to the left. Inhale, arms come up overhead. One more time. Exhale, twist to the right. And again, on that next exhale, see if you can twist just a little bit further. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. And on your next exhale, see if you can twist just a little bit further. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, bring them both down. All right, let's transition into our tabletop pose. So just uncross your legs, swing them to the side, and then come up onto all fours. So a tabletop pose, fingers are going to be nice and wide. We're going to be gripping with all the knuckles into the mat. Hips are over the knees, shoulders over the wrists. And we're going to do a couple cat-cows here. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through. Exhale, round the spine, let the head hang heavy. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, drop the belly. Last time. Exhale, round. Coming back into that neutral spine. Take your big toes, bring them together to touch, and then take your knees out as wide as you can, sending your sits bones back to the heels. Take the hands out in front of you, create a diamond shape with the index finger and thumb, and we're going to plant that on the mat and just allow our body to hang over and let the chest fall to the ground. If you find that it's hard to have your sits bones laying on the heels, this would be a great opportunity if you had a block or maybe a pillow, even like your couch cushions will do, to prop you up if your hips don't reach all the way down. Whatever you need to make it comfortable. And just go ahead and take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, come back up to tabletop. Extend that right leg back behind you, hips square to the mat, hip points are pointing down. Exhale, bring that right leg forward through both hands, placing it at the front of the mat. And we're going to set up for Anjaneyasana, which is our low lunge on the right side. Go ahead and bring your hands to the top of your thigh, making sure that your knee is directly over the ankle, toes are pointing forward. And again, we want to not overemphasize the stretch. So we don't want to be like this. It's very easy to want to push forward and get that really deep stretch, but you also risk injuring yourself. So just gracefully and gradually enter into the low lunge. Want to make sure that we're not allowing the tailbone to come up in that anterior tilt. We want the tailbone to come down, hugging the belly in, and just slowly start to sink into the lunge. On an inhale, bring both arms up. Take the right arm, bring it to the right hip, exhale, and begin to bend to the right, creating a lateral flexion on the left side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the foot. We're going to keep the left hand planted. On an inhale, take the right arm and bring it up for an easy twist. And go ahead and shift your gaze wherever it's comfortable. On your next exhale, go ahead and take the right arm and bring it down. Go ahead and take your seat and sit it back, bringing the toes to point back towards the face as we sit in our half split. If you have really tight hamstrings, go ahead and bend the knee. We want to make sure we're keeping a nice flat back. Go ahead and come up on the tips of your fingers if that's easier for you as well. And just hold here, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Go ahead and plant the right foot down. Bring both palms down to the ground and bring that right leg back to tabletop. And we'll repeat on the other side. Left leg comes back. Hips square to the mat. Exhale, bring that left leg through. Setting up for Anjaneyasana. Low lunge on the left side. Hands come to top the thigh. And we'll take this time again to just make sure we're set up properly. Knee over ankle, toes pointing forward. Tailbone pointing down. And just gently easing ourselves into the low lunge. On an inhale, bring both arms up. Take the left hand, bring it to the left hip, and begin to exhale, tilt towards the left, creating that lateral flexion on the right side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bring the palms to the mat. Right palm stays planted on the mat. Inhale, bring that left arm up. And again, keep your gaze wherever it's comfortable for you. Continue to breathe. Exhale, hand comes down to the mat. Go ahead and shift your seat back as we set up for half split. Bringing the left toes towards the face, tenting our fingers so that we're up on the fingertips. And if needed, go ahead and bend that knee. We want to make sure we're protecting the hamstrings if they're super tight. Take some deep breaths into the hamstrings. Go ahead and plant the left foot down, palms come to the mat, and let's come back into our tabletop pose. Big toes come together. Go ahead and take the knees as wide as you can. Sit the sits bones back on the heels. And again, let's take and make that diamond shape with the index and the thumb and begin to lower ourselves to the ground for Balasana, child's pose. Continue to breathe. Let yourself relax. All right, come back up to tabletop. On an inhale, take the right leg, send it back. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, pull it through. Right foot between the palms. Come up to Anjaneyasana. Take a moment here to get positioned. Inhale, arms up overhead. Right arm to right hip. Exhale, begin to lean to the right. Super good stretch on the left side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms come down to the mat. Left hand stays planted. Inhale, right arm comes up. Shifting your gaze wherever you need to. Exhale, right arm down. Come back to your half split, toes pointing towards the face. Again, Bend the right knee if you need to. Right foot comes to the ground, plant the palms, step back into our tabletop pose. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, bring it through. Foot comes between both palms. Come up to Anjaneyasana, low lunge on the left side. Go ahead and take a moment. Check your positioning. Make sure everything's where it needs to be. Inhale, arms come up. Left hand to left hip. Exhale, begin to lean towards the left. Stretching out that right side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms come down to the mat. Keep that right palm planted. Inhale, bring the left arm up, shifting the gaze wherever you can. Exhale, hand comes down to the mat. Take your seat, shift it back. Half split, toes come back towards the face. Again, bend that knee if you need to. Keep the fingers tented. Right foot comes down, palms to the ground, and let's come back into our tabletop pose. Okay, from here, we're gonna set up for puppy pose. So go ahead and keep, you might need to walk yourself towards the back of your mat just slightly. Keep the knees underneath the hips, and then go ahead and just walk your hands towards the front of the mat. From here, you wanna make sure you're keeping your hips over your knees, and we wanna sink our chest to the ground, not our bellies, our chest. So if you don't have a lot of shoulder mobility, if it's pretty tight, this is a good time for you to grab any pillows or blocks to support you as you begin to sink down. But only go as far as you can. So we're going to start to lower our chest to the ground. Again, only going as low as you can. Hugging the belly in to protect that lower back. And if you can, your head might come to rest on the ground. Hold here. On an inhale, come up. Shift your body weight all the way to the front of the mat as we lower down onto our bellies, and then come into Sphinx pose. Elbows are going to be directly underneath the shoulders, hands nice and wide, and it's going to be as if you're pulling your chest through your arms. So you really want a nice grip on the mat as you pull through, opening the heart. Tailbone is tucking down, feet, tops of the feet are planted on the mat. And just take a few breaths here. Begin to take the right arm parallel to the top of your mat. Left hand comes directly on top. And go ahead and just let your head sink on top of your hands. And just hang out here for a moment. Maybe you want to rock your hips back and forth. And then go ahead and come up. Back up to Sphinx pose. And then we're going to switch sides. So then we'll take the left arm parallel to the front, right arm on top. Begin to let your head sink to the hands. And just lay here for a moment. Again, go ahead and rock your hips back and forth if you'd like. Take both hands, planted right next to the rib cage, elbows hugging into your side. Gently push up and come back into our tabletop position. From here, go ahead and just swing your feet one way or the other as we sit down. And then we want to bring our legs out in front of us. Feet planted on the ground, nice long spine as we set up for Navasana, which is boat pose. So again, just as we mentioned in the beginning, when we're sitting nice and tall, we want to feel as if we're sitting on those sits bones. We don't want to be rolling back onto our tailbone. So go ahead and tuck that belly in, open up the chest, long spine, feel the sits bones underneath you, rock back and forth. Feet firmly planted in the ground, hands coming behind the thighs. And just sit here for a moment, take a few breaths. And then we're going to begin to lift just the right leg. Lift it up. And then go ahead and lower. Take the left leg, lift it up. Go ahead and lower. Right leg again. Lower, left leg. Lower, one more time. Lift the right. Go ahead and bring it down. Lift the left. And bring it down. And if you can, we're going to bring both legs up at the same time for a count of 5. If that's too much for you, if you find that you're having too much curve in the spine, and you're not having that nice long tall spine, then just go ahead and sit here for a count of 5, or maybe you just want to bring one leg up. Go ahead, bring both legs up, or stay just as you are. Hug the belly in, long spine, count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. And we'll try that one more time. And maybe this time, if you stayed seated without lifting the legs, maybe you try lifting both legs or one this time. Okay, long spine, hug the belly in. Inhale, lift 1 or 2 legs. And hold for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and come down to lay on our back. Go ahead and roll all the way down, slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Hug the knees into the chest. And give it a nice squeeze. If you want to rock back and forth, you can do that. We'll just do a little twist. Take the left leg, extend it long, keep that right leg into the chest, and then gently guide the right leg over to the left side. If the knee doesn't come all the way to the ground, that's just fine. This would be another good opportunity if you have a block or a pillow to prop that underneath that knee for a little support. Right arm can come and extend out to the side. Breathe deeply into the belly. And go ahead and come back. Extend this time the right leg long, Left leg comes into the chest. And begin to twist to the right, guiding that left leg over. Left arm comes out behind you, or I'm sorry, next to you. Continue to breathe deep into the belly. And come back to center. Hug the legs in one more time. And maybe take your palms on top of your knees and then do some clockwise circles with the knees. And then switch counterclockwise. All right, take the feet down to the mat. Extend your legs as wide as your mat or as wide as you'd like them to be as we set up for Shavasana. Hands come down beside you, palms facing up. Close the eyes. You did an awesome job, and if this was your first yoga class, I hope you enjoyed it. Sometimes yoga can be intimidating when we see all the fancy asanas. So it's always good to start with the basics and then work your way up. Yoga is such a powerful tool for so many things. Let your body relax fully. Take note of your eyelids, of your jaw. Let everything fully relax. Begin to deepen the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Take your time. Start to wiggle the toes, the fingers. And when you're ready, roll over to the right side and meet me in a seated position on your mat with the eyes closed. And we'll take just 2 deep breaths before we close our practice. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Hands come to heart center. Go ahead and gently open up the eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much everyone for joining me today for this beginner practice. There will be plenty more for the month of January as we develop this sequence. If you are new to yoga, I welcome you to the yoga community. It's a wonderful place to be. Yoga is such a powerful tool for so many things. And if this is one of many classes that you have already taken, Thank you so much again for choosing me as your teacher, and I look forward to joining you on the mat again. From my mat to yours, namaste.